Good evening, everybody, and welcome back for itself. We're here in for one itself around here. We cannot be able to be using for some kind of to do this. When you start for the American games like there as well, and it actually shows around here for this as well. So I'm not gonna be using for laptop. I'm on PC. Let's just select here and I'm completely back in American Midwest as we just eventually spawned like for to do this as well. And I'm not gonna be getting able to start for this the very first time as well. Meanwhile, it's not going to be getting for around in the morning as well. So if we're gonna be started to spawn some vehicles, we got for limited vehicles ourselves to do this as one thing as well. So we got for multiple of those things as well. So I cannot be able to start around for pickups as well. And this should be able to be taking for a little bit of while. And so we got for game passes now. It's actually have for game passes for each for the very first time as well. So we're gonna be opening up and see what it's actually going to be like as well. And for the cinematic mode, for its very first time as well, since I'm going to start exploring around itself, we can see a tractor. Now, this game is called American Midwest. I can hear for a coupling of those things as well. Sometimes I might going to drive around for some kind of stuff, because sometimes this is its new home around for itself for the very first time. So, American Plans Money, I'm not sure. That really tried to do this as well. This is actually very similar to the American Planes mudding instead of money taking like them as well. So, we're gonna be trying to spawn as the trucks. As we're gonna be next up to see the store as the group. We didn't see that either as well. So we got the settings. So I didn't actually going to be spawning that way. So we didn't have any old trucks around here for to do this. As you can see, my face is still here, and my avatar appearance is here. But we still don't have any mages that we're going to load up for this day. Until the morning, and the moon will be going to set soon as well before we're gonna be trying to start like anyways. And after that, I just actually going to see around the map as well. We definitely hearing for some sound effects like anything as the engine sounds as well. So we just actually going to spawn trucks, and this is where you can delete trailers and pickups. So we got semi trucks as well, and still don't have any images to do this. So even we got for the hidden vehicles we didn't find, and we have some group vehicles. We don't have any tractors like those things as well. We can't start up for some sort of a pickups as well. So we got the Internationals or a Canworth K100 over here. So another one is the Peterbilt and a trailer. And it was so bright that I just never been meant to do so as well. Even like those things, they actually spawn a Peterbilt like anybody as well. So we got a round of those, everybody as well. And looks like it's actually going to be for heading around for spawn in. I don't need to ride for some of those kinds of vehicles. The moon is setting down and the sun won't rise and shine around here. And as you can see for that yellow bright thing as the star as well, it won't going to shine as well for a very first time as well, because these drivers are really fast. So, but as you can see, the images have been start appearing. And when I just going to scroll down, and you don't see like anything as well. So I might gonna be using to spawn an F250. So thanks for 1500 subscribers. I might going to be spawning a RAM 1500 as well, a RAM 1500. I never gonna be going to try for just for a very first time, but as you can see for a round of those on my toes as well, the sun shines and the skies will not appear as well. Even it's not going to be working as well. For some cases, it still actually have for doing for a little bit amount of nights as well. So we got for the ATMs as well, or the ATVs like them so as well. Not even as cars like actually that I just still going to be for around here to do this, except for semis. So I'm gonna be probably spawn for a trailer later as well. So I might gonna be finding somewhere other else. So maybe it's too hard to find once the sky is appearing for once again, because we just eventually moved into another server, but sometimes the truck is still actually roaring through the streets like them as well. And because of the tractor is actually going to be moving up as well. And let's see if we're gonna be trying this again for very one time as well. But things I'm not gonna be slightly trying to do this as well. It's gonna be late in the morning as well. And somebody is actually keep on spawning and despawning the truck for too many times as well. So I can't even absolutely try to spawn like either as well. So one time that we cannot be able to be spawning for some kinds of trucks as well. If we're choosing a truck, what actually it is, then we'll able to be trying to spawn a Silverado. So I'm not gonna be very sure. This is not going to be doing for just like it's spawning a Dodge Ram for around here as well. So we might able to be for finding cars, even for the ATVs, semis, and tractors. So this is actually for the very unfortunate days like there are for to do so as well. You might able to manage to, this is where you can delete trucks and delete trailers, even it's actually going to be for around as well. And this is the settings, which is actually going to be for around for the engine hydro locking as well. So we might able to be turning off for the shadows, and it won't be gonna be for helping for within performance as well. If it's actually going to be for around here, turn off as well. So even getting even to your water as well. So it's actually for the hydro locking as well. So even it's actually might going to be shutting down as well. So even it's actually for an automatic transmission. So I'll be using for the settings is only able to do this as well. So successfully able to save, but it's not going to be for around for anything as well. So let's spawn a truck and it won't be able to save for itself for one time as well. So we're gonna be choosing for RAM 1500 for around to do this, or should I say 3500. So we're gonna be starting a round of this first and using as a color yellow that we just able to be spawning for just out, and it doesn't work just for one time because of those kind of lot of idiots have just spawned for too many times as well, and things have just not even working as well anymore. So let's restart anything as well. So let's just restart the character, and I'm gonna be going for cinematic mode for just only for one time as well. So let's take it for a little bit of a look as well. So since I just restarted a character as well for the very first time, unfortunately I got froze for spawning a vehicle, and there it goes. For one thing, is just think we're going to get a little bit as well. I'm unable to get on the road, but unfortunately the spawn didn't work as very much further as well. So we got for some kind of a little bit of this one as well. So I didn't manage to be able to be spawning as well, so I just kept on using for the camera mode as well. So I'm not here as well. So I might go and kept on restarting of this character, but unfortunately there must be a whole bunch of players for around here for to do this as well. Oh my gosh, I might go to leave the game for probably it was. Because I failed attempt for really a lot of times as well. So even that you know it is. And I'm never gonna be probably to do this as well. If I might going to be spawning for some trucks, those sound effects really worked as well. So things have just actually pretty spawning for just as well. We have a brand new Silverado and another Silverado, and for a Ford F-150 like this as well, or the F-350 as well. So we're gonna be spawning a Dodge Ram, and the cars might just appear for just a little bit as well. So even it's actually that you know it is. You know what time that we're gonna be trying to spawn as well? I'm going for a Dodge Ram that will be heading out for some ramming a lot of people as well. So we're going to be using for a fully orange and a complete spawn around to do this as well. So, and I'm not gonna be going for around to do this as well. So looks like I have been froze for one time as well. It's not going to work for a little bit of while, and it's unable to close for itself for to spawn the car as well. So things are not going to be for such a spawning vehicles whatever you want. As the vehicle successfully spawn, the fuel system is actually being for a little bit working for one bit as well. So because I just actually spawned for a Dodge Ram, jump off the vehicle and successfully despawned a vehicle completely. So I'm gonna be using for an old Dodge Ram, and let's get to work for just quickly as well. So the vehicle is already successfully spawned as well, and let's see if the vehicle is going to be out of fuel for this time as well. So let's run for the first time, and I'm going to be set the volume into number 1 as well, so it's kind of loud for just really for the first time as well. So I'm not gonna be very worried about this kind of off-road for just one reason as well. So here we go for some kind of using as of the Dodge Ram Generation 1. So we have fueling on 6 gears. So if the fuel runs out, I won't able to make it on time as well. So this is not my hometown as well. So let's find somewhere on new home. And it's going to be for pretty weird to do this as well. So when if the fuel runs out, and I am too late to arrive at the gas station. So we're driving on it, and it's pretty loud as well, as of the 100 miles an hour. And look at the fuel as well. And yes, it's actually, look at the fuel system. And yes, it's absolutely working right now. When if the fuel runs out, that sometimes it will might able to be despawning as well. We turn off the shadows, and I'm not gonna be for pretty quite sure as to do this as well. Let's see the settings as we're gonna be turning on to slow down as well. So we still going to be for mentioned around as well, as we just absolutely see the controls as well, as the fuel mileage wasn't going to be pretty even good as well. It might able to be take up for a very long time as 21 miles per gallon. So it's going to be for around for fuel economy. I'm not sure. This is not going to be actually that I'm not going to be having for right of this day. So we're driving on it for going for around as left. Here comes the hump. Woo! We just actually did for something going out of control. And then I'm not gonna be realized that we're speeding a little bit for just one time as well. And am I right to get all the way for a round of those things as well? Maybe should be able to get all the way to the barn as well as fast as possible. So, this game has a fuel system that we just eventually got, like anything that were before. I never tried to do this, like, pretty a lot to do this as well. And it's similar to American Plains mudding, and it has a money currency for just even yet as well. Looks like we're going to turn left, and even it's not going to be even possible as well. And it's still going to be sounded a little bit loud as well for such as Detroit diesel. And I might going to be came back home a little bit as barn as well. So this is where I'm still playing at this thing as well, but I'm not sure it's not going to be working for some sort of on the wheels. If I'm going to head back into NASCAR as well, blasting to 100 miles an hour, and we're very sure that this is not going to be for just like, you know, for one thing as well. So we hit the bridge, and we just completely going to get off the road. I might going to get out of control for this, and it won't be safe for just right now, as we're going absolutely outside of the farm, and we're going into the farm as well. But this is where it all begins in the round for this one, so I have to brake for safely as well. But we really think it does have any handbrakes as well. So this is where I'm back home, for this one hometown as well. And never being excused to do this, but where's the American flag around just never to be appeared like this way? So we're finally at hometown in this barn. So this is not my barn as well. Even this is where that the spawning place is not going to be place to be as well. You can actually turn off to do this as well. So if you just actually turning off for just actually the engine off as well, it won't delete as well for even as possibly to do so as well. So you cannot able to access to the houses like those things as well, except for some kind of a mansion to do this like as well. So that's the end of the video as well. And if you like for a round of this video, around for the last year's video, that you just might able to click of this American Plains mudding around of some kind of videos around for some kind of tabs, like even for to do this as for some kind of cards, like the video cards as well. And the game link is in description down below, as you might gonna be able to still play it with actually for the fuel systems on, including American Plains mudding as well. Thanks for watching, for all your support, and I gotta be seeing mini lads and street racing geeks and American citizens all later, as I'll be signing off as well.